Hello, Pod here. I'm going to be going through my Podio build out. This is going to be a full start to finish, the whole process of how it actually goes through and works. So within this workspace, this is actually where we start out, and we have these are just our main apps up here itself. And what we actually do here is basically everything's going to start off in the VA leads or intake or acquisitions, whatever it is that you want to call this. But this is basically the form for my VAs to fill out, and it dumps into my Podio. So this is where they essentially all start off at. So once they come into here, we'll go ahead and create a lead in here. Um, there's certain fields that you do want to get filled out itself. So, but there is a pre-population in here of addresses, so we can actually, as you type it in, it'll pre-populate. Once you get up into at least the name in here, then just click save, and it will save everything in here. It starts updating. Zillow starts pulling in its own link from here. Um, and then again, we just go down through here, motivation, what stage we're in. Essentially, this is where these new stages are going to come in. They're going to come in. There's Zillow. They're going to come in, and it's going to populate as new. And once they come dumping, once they get funneled in, then they automatically get tagged in as new. Obviously, I'm doing this one manually. So the point of this is you got new, nurturing, and then dead. And then we have our next action, which is in follow-up. So it's a new and we're in follow-up. So after we've gotten contact with them, then we would just move this over to nurturing. Now you know what the deal is with that. And then we can go into, speak to owner. We're into desktop analysis to kind of see where we're actually going with this lead. These are all automatic tasks. So this here creates a task for you to call back tomorrow, 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, 2 weeks, 1 month, 3 months, and 6 months. This is essentially if you can't get a hold of them, or if you just want to do tomorrow, just click tomorrow. It creates that. Your follow-up date itself, this will actually put it into the calendar itself, your follow-up date and time. It will actually go ahead and create that and as for you to have a task. When you do that, the number one thing that you really want to do though is make sure that you are come in here and put yourself in here as a member or whoever is actually working this. And then we're going to just go through because these tasks are related to that member. So whoever is a member on this is going to get that task created to them. So we'll just click this 2 days. So then it actually goes on the calendar as a 2-day follow-up. We can do a manual one here too for anything special that we have to do. Our property details, it's a 1986 house, property type, townhouse, number of units, 5, whatever, 3, 4 bed, 2 bath, square footage, all your basic conditions and everything in here. This is everything that your VA is pretty much going to get for you. So that way you can have enough information to do a follow up and see if they're going to be able to move forward though. So once you actually have this done now, you're in here at this point. Okay, everything's saved. You're doing your follow ups with it, right? So now everybody is within your VA leads or acquisitions, whatever it is that you want to call it. And anything that's made in there. So we had a 2-day follow up. So that there puts Dave right there at the 2-day follow up for me. You can click on that from here, and that they're actually it says who it's assigned to. I can go to that lead from right there. where the source was, anything that I need to know on that is all right there. But the good thing about this too is that you can actually sync your calendar, your Podio calendar here with your Google Calendar. Once you do that, then you pick out, you add your calendar in here, pick out what color you want. And so everything over here itself, these are all day follow-ups. There's no specific time. Um, just because they are the push button follow-ups. And so in turn, they just puts it in here is that I got that you have to follow up with them at some point in time. That's what these blue ones are. These ones here with the time frame on there, that there is a particular set date and time. So if we go back to our workspace here and go back to that Dave lead, then we can actually go through and create a actual follow-up with a date and time right here for anything. So if they want 2 p.m. in the afternoon, we can do that right here. These are just basically if you haven't been able to get a hold of anybody. So you'll try them tomorrow or 2 days or 3 days, whichever, follow-up there actually suits you. Maybe they're not ready just yet. You're going to follow up with them in 3 months. They can still stay in this, they can still stay here in the VA leads. Um, so once we have everything here, we also create our tasks and everything down there, as well as these automated tasks up here. Now, once we are done and we're good with this and we know what we're doing, the seller is moving forward, we can just click push to seller's app. What this is actually going to do is going to push everything over into the seller's funnel, which in turn is basically taking all that information from the VA lead, from that lead over there, and it's pushing it right over here into the seller's lead. And so now we have, just call it Dave. Um, so now we have everything over here. All that same information got transferred and pushed over here. Comes in here as a new stage if you're nurturing it, offer, send it, contract, marketing, assign it, sold, whatever it is that you want to do. And so what's good about this here too is that this here is actually sets up on a whiteboard here, whiteboard layout. So you can actually see and do whatever it is that you want to do, move things around. You can see as we refresh, um, we can go back in there and that's actually where we work. So follow up, your next action, follow up on appointment, make an offer. So on appointment itself is going to create a task for the member as well automatically for this due date. So if you're going to be going on an appointment, you're going to set it up for this due date and time, and it will actually create that task there for you. Follow up reason, what are you doing over there? All that good stuff. Your bill, again, all your property information itself is going to be transferred and pushed on over. Your seller information. So then we actually have these other smaller sections here to house other information. The best thing about this setup here is that it goes to it saves you the time from having to jump back and forth back out of all these items and situations. So again, puts you in here as a member automatically as long as you're selected from the VA leads or the JV leads. It will dump it over here. This is where you then actually get to go through. This is now where you're actually putting together the deal. So within here, we're going through. There's your follow up. There's your property information itself. Here's your seller information. What's their real reason for selling? They're asking price. Now you can get into their timeline a little bit more. Again, this is all that main stuff, same stuff that's over in the VAs. What's actually added here is when you can come over here and you can create a new financial section. And what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and refer this back to Dave. So we have all that information right there. So we have a 300,000 ARV right here. Just tab it through. Once you get your ARV in here, save and return. Takes you right back into here, and then you can go back into Dave. What this is going to do is it actually sets everything in place, all the calculation fields. So estimated equity, let's say that there's 50,000 in equity right here. But here's a big thing. This is going to create your ARV, your mail right here. So we're going to go through and we're going to do a price per square foot. So our property is 1982 square feet, and we're going to go ahead and say that this is we're going to make it $23 a square foot. Is going to be the cost of our rehab. Now the actual this square foot rehab cost right here is based upon this calculation. These estimated repairs are you actually walking through the property, making the with the actual deal analyzer, whatever it is that you want to use to get your actual hardcore, hard set numbers. And so then within here, what's the desired profit you want to make on this? Let's say we want to make $10,000 on this. We have that, and then now we can actually select our ARV percentage that we want. So we can do 0.82, 0.81, 0.74, whatever it is that you want. And what that there is actually going to do is it produces your mail, ARV, estimated equity, square foot rehab, or not equity, rehab, desired profit, and your percentage right there. That's going to give you your mail. Very simple. What's going on with this property is it free and clear. First mortgage, let's say they have 100,000 on their second mortgage is 50,000. Let's say they have a $6,000 HELOC on here, and liens. They got a $7,300 tax lien on there. Tax lien, IRS, mechanics lien, whatever it is that you want to put on there. So then now you can actually add all this stuff up and see your totals here and do a quick comparison to what your mail is. So now you can actually kind of see what kind of offer that you're actually going to be going with, how that's going to work out if you got a deal or not. Again, you can go in here and create your tasks. What's great about this is that this actually keeps you back, related items is back to that original seller. So this will take you right back to the seller's app here. Now, again, so we just went through, we did the financials. Now with this, we have our ARV, our total amount that we're, that we still have to owe on the property, and then our mail here, and then our desired profit off of that. So we can actually see what's going on there. So we can sit here and base our offer based upon this, looking at what we're doing here for our offer itself. We can relate this back to another offer in here, and I'll show you that in a second. So we can do a verbal written offer. What would be our offer price? So we know that we need to be relatively close. So let's just call it 200. There's 200,000 right there. Expiration date. When does our offer expire? We can just say 2 days from now. Which this year will actually go on the calendar, so we'll actually know what's going on, whether or not it's accepted, yes or no. And what we can actually do then is we can actually send this to the offers section itself too. So what we can do is we can actually send this over to our offers app and be able to create an offer in there. And I will show you that right now just by going here, and we can go into, see, this is already sent this offer over there. So we can just go ahead and click Dave. There's our offer. Now we can click on that. This here takes us directly to the offers. So then now with this, let me go ahead and change up this email here really quick. So this is my email. And now what we're going to do is we're actually going to go ahead and create an offer to be sending out here to them. A lot of people, this is a great way just to follow up on them. But we can put in our EMD Let's say we're going to do 500. Financing, whatever it is that we want to write in there. Um, Seller financing for 20 years. Uh, Whatever. Anything else? Uh, the green boat that's there is going to stay. And then this is going to be your offer email text. So whatever you want to write in the text of your email. Uh, there you go. Here's an offer, written offer on your property there. So there's our property address. There's our offer price, additional contingencies. So, uh, we can write something in there. We don't have to select a closing date. Let's say March 31st. Buyer is going to be me. And so now that we have that on there, then what we do is we just go through and we click create offer. And so what that's actually doing is it's creating the offer here for us um, within here. And so what this actually did is, this is the stage that we're in. It actually created the offer. And now what we're going to go ahead and do is see the offer is already here. It actually gets attached. So we can actually open this up and actually see what this written offer looks like. There's a name, property address, you know, uh, everything that we wrote in here, time frame, everything that we want in here is in here. Now all the seller's got to do is just go through and sign off on this. This is me, my company itself. And so once they go through, they have a better explanation, financing contingencies, how we're going to do it, anything of that sort. So that actually produces that. And then what we actually do then is we can just go through and send the offer. And now it actually just sent it out. And here we go. This is the offer here. So it was great talking with you today. This is that email text. So whatever you want to write in there, that's going to be in here. And then again, here you go. This is that offer for them. So they can print it out, write it, do a DocuSign, or you can send this however it is that you want. They can just type in their name. It's just some sort of confirmation back with them. So they actually have that. So that there's their actual offer letter itself. So that there's a perfect example of sending out the offer letter itself. Then we can go back here into Dave. Now we're back into the sellers itself. Now we go into, there's our offers right there. Now we're into the deal structure right here. Now let's just go ahead and start creating the deal structure. We're going to relate it back to Dave. How we're going to acquire this property, is right here. Your purchase price. Here's time and fee, terms and months, total monthly payment itself. Anything having to do with the deal itself. So this is your deal structure section. However it is that you're wanting, looking to actually do this, and we're looking at acquiring this property for 200,000. And again, we're going to save and return this. And that's actually going to take us back here. And so from here, we get to go back into deals. And now we have everything up here. Now we can actually see where everything's broken down at. So we have our entry fees. So, 500 plus 500. Oops. 500 plus 500 plus 500. All right. Now we have all that stuff is already added in there. And now we go down to what we're going to be doing in the for monthly cash flow itself. So $2,000 monthly rent minus $89 servicing company, $120 HOA, principal and interest to the seller. What is it that the seller is actually wanting itself? How many, how much money are they wanting monthly itself? Let's just say that they want 1,200 right there. Monthly taxes is going to be 123, and what's their insurance? We'll call that their 50 bucks. This is automatically, whoops. This is automatically taking out, repairs and vacancy. So it's automatically taking that out from there. And so now you're actually looking at 218 here on this cash flow. And then we come down here into here's another section of wraps and everything. But this is how you're going to put together your deals and stuff. This is what you're actually looking for in here. Your rent rate, what your entry fees are, your cost of capital itself. Same thing in here. So you got your wraps and everything. So whatever your acquired price is and stuff like that, what your wrap material is. Then again, we just go back here. We go all the way down there to the bottom, and it takes us right back to where it was. And so now we're here at our deal structure. What's their purchase price? What's their total entry fee? What's their cash flow? What's our monthly wrap flow and everything? So that way we can quickly see what we need, the main fields that we need to see out of these things as soon as possible. Find out, see what stage we're at here, what our offer price is here. Again, there's our financials. Everything's really quick and easy here. Title company, attach your title company in there. Set up your inspection period from today to, let's say, 1 week. Select a showing date. Say we're going to show somebody this. Pick out your closing date in here. Your earnest money. What's your acquired price here? What are we doing with this? So we're going to do 200,000 here, right? So we're acquiring this at 200,000. Okay, so here's your JV partner, your wholesaler, your realtor, anybody else that you're having that you're having in on the deal on this. So let's say Tupac here actually turned around and brought me this deal. I'm gonna go ahead and give him $1,000 right there, and let's say this guy's gonna be my buyer. So now I have everything that I need here. There's my realtor. There's anybody that I have in on this deal. Um, you know. My realtor, JV fee, another investor, whatever, what it is that they're being paid itself. And then what are we going to be turning around and dispositioning this at? So we acquired it at 200. So let's say that we're going to turn around and sell this at 225 right there. So then now we're at 225. That gives, and we had to pay this guy out his $1,000. So that there gives us a total of $24,000 right there on that estimated equity or estimated profit there for us as to what we're making on this deal. What type of deal? How are we getting rid of this? Buy and hold, wrap and buy or lease option, wholesale, whatever it is. We're going to keep it as an Airbnb, whatever. Lead source, how'd this come in? Was it by a website, door knocking, cold calling, whatever, JV campaign, whatever you want. Attach your Google files here. Attach any tags that you want in here for looking up anything. And here's the related fields. It's related to the deal structure and the financials itself. So if I need to go in the financials there too, I can go right back in there, and the deal structure itself, so I can actually see that. Now at that point in time, then we should be push it over there into sold, and we should be done. Essentially, if it's dead, it actually deletes everything out of the. So if we move this seller into dead from here, if we move it and click and drag it over here to dead, it will actually delete out all this information from here, and it takes all that same information, puts it over here, and just puts it out of the way. That way you're not losing the information, but you still have it there in case you want to revisit it at some point in time. With sold, it's going to be the same thing. It'll go into a whole sold section there too. sold, closed, whatever. If you sold it, if you closed it, whatever. Um, Standby would be like if something happened there, if there was canceled or something of that sorts. Um, so any sort of buyers, shadow company, wholesalers, JV investors, realtors, JV leads or VA leads, websites, right here. Any of these that are actually filled out, they actually drop into a master contacts list, which is this one right here, which is just a master contact list of everybody that you have, whether it be a realtor, investor, title company, or anything of that sort. That there is all saved in here. Their website itself, their organization, address, job title. Very simple side here. Um, this contacts app is in great connection with if you're going to be utilizing smartphone or just call. They need an app to reference to. So anything within here is all going to go back to here and reference out of these numbers, and as well as smartphone and just call itself, both install their own little apps in here once you actually sign up with them. We can actually put that in here as well too. The whole point of this is to try to keep this as minimalistic as possible with very minimal moving parts out of here. Me personally, I do enjoy Just Call. I go with Just Call on them. I have used smartphone. I prefer Just Call. As well as, so when we come back in here now, actually, let me go back in here. So we have our VA leads and our JV leads. JV leads are going to be the leads that are submitted by somebody else, by an outside source. Again, we're going to go through all that information in here. We have all that in here. We've already gone through to fill this out. Well, majority of it is that the other person has gone through to fill this out. The submitter has gone through to fill this out. Now, the beauty part of the JV leads and the VA leads here, these two apps, this is primarily where you're going to keep your leads until they're ready to go on to a deal. Then you push them over here so that way you can start putting the financials in the deal structure. But again, we know that every lead that our VA submits or somebody else submits is a 100% hot lead, and we're going to be moving forward with them because everybody gets all the correct information, right? Wrong. So the point of this is to keep these leads in here until you've called them, contacted them, vetted them, that they are good, that they are a lead, that you are moving forward with it. Then you can move it into the sellers and be able to push it down the pipeline itself. So instead of cluttering everything up into the pipeline here and having a whole bunch of leads that are stagnant from sitting in here for too long about anything else, you just keep them in here until you've actually contacted, or your leads manager, whatever, has contacted them and gotten back in there. So then same thing here, we take all this information here. You can create the same follow-up tasks and everything as well in here. Go down here, do the member. Once you add your member in there, then all these tasks and stuff will go back and will be put into the calendar and created for somebody, or created for that member. Again, if you have something time you've talked to somebody and you're getting in there for setting up an appointment time, great. Then that's when you're going to fill out this calendar itself. This is going to give you your day and your time frame to be able to go call them and do your follow-up back with them. And again, from here, estimated repairs, this is what somebody else is putting in here. So within here too, you're going to have these red dots here are what's mandatory. So you're always going to be able to have your JV partner name, phone number, their company, and their email itself. And you can set this fee in here for whatever it is that you want to do. This is for, we're going to say lead submission, any sort of notes that you want right there, because this is what we're going to go ahead and do is within this JV leads right here. Once we've called them and vetted them and everything, we know that it is all good, that we're moving forward with the lead. It is a good solid contact to be working with. We're going to go ahead and just create the JV contract. Once this contract is created itself, then we can actually go through and email it. And I want to make sure it gets emailed to the right person. Okay, again, so me. So I'm going to go ahead and email that contract. It just emailed that contract out, and that will be coming back into here. So here's my JV contract. Again, this is, a pre-populated section here. The contract shows between, my company, your company, and then here's that contract itself. So here's my company and me, the wholesaler, who they are, their company, and then this is going back to the JV person for them to sign off on it, allowing me to actually have rights to call this person, and I've deemed that as worthy. Okay, well, this is their fee that they're going to get. Everything's already in here. Said referral fee will only be paid upon the close of escrow and only on properties that are direct leads from your company. Um, so that just means that I have the right to deem that, however. But now I've actually sent that JV contract off to you. Boom. Now we're in the game. So you've already got that, and now I'm following up with the lead here. And now again, from here, it's a new stage, or now I've made contact with them. Now I'm nurturing it, whatever. But then now I can push this to sellers, and this is actually going to push this app or this lead, sorry, again back over here to the sellers. And now there we go. We're at Felix the Cat right here. And again, same thing, just like the VA lead itself. Now we can come in here and start working everything in here. We can start putting the deal together. Everything else that we need to. We can put all that information, fill that information back out, and continue our follow-up process. Where we're going with this, we need to present an offer. Okay, so then now you can go through and create the task and assign it to somebody else in the department, whatever it is that you're choosing. So then now we have all that. Again, you move it down the line, and this thing is set up in this aspect and ready to go. Buyers, when you go in here, you open up your lead. This is your buyer. You can attach them here, and now they can actually start putting in all their information, what type of builds, and start building. Your buyers list is going to be basically out of here. It will also show who if this buyer is related to somebody. So remember that Dave deal. So we got this buyer attached to this Dave deal. So you can actually see what buyer is attached to where. So with that, again, we go into the title company. Same thing here. We actually have these set up in here. So then that way you can see the title company, contact person, phone number, their email, location, their website address, and again, what type of transactions, their information. This is customizable. Again, now we can actually see what deals this title company is working on for us. And then now I can just go right there to that deal right from there. And now here's that Dave deal. So there's that Dave deal that I just did for you. And now we can get into this whole thing. So this here actually lets us make sure that we are on the same boat with the same person, and make sure that we have everything set up in the right place. And again, we can go into the title company right from there, bam, and we can see where everything is. From there, we got title companies. Okay, then we go into our wholesalers, and remember again, all these leads, all these fields, apps up here that you put this information in, it actually gets dumped into your contacts. So this is a wholesaler. We got Ja Rule here. And again, I utilize Just Call. So when I'm in here, I can call them right from here. I can call them right from here. I'm not logged in there, and then I can also text them right from here too. So what it does is it actually just pops this up after I log in. Then I can call and text them right out of here through my number. That number that I'm calling and texting them out of is a direct number that they can call back in and reach me again. Again, it works for every single contact within here, because as long as they're within the contact and they've been created, you have access to it. So everyone that's in here, I will be able to reference to in any app that I need to. So if I want to call them right here, I can. Here's my JV investors, other investors that I'm working with, that I'm partnering with, that are sending me deals. I can put those in here. And again, as they are in here, if they are related to another item, another deal, you will actually see those here. So it'll be really easy to keep track of. Tupac is over here with this Dave deal. He's an investor. He helped bring this deal to me. So we have that there. Realtors itself, those, everything's in here is pretty much self-explanatory. We got Easy and Ruthless. Ruthless realtors here. These guys are pretty cutthroat in the real estate business here. Um, but yeah, again, their website and everything goes in, their office location, tags, tasks, whatever they're related to. If they're tied to a deal, they'll be tied into that right there too. You'll be able to see that. And then JV leads, VA leads, website form. This one here is just basically is a very basic form for you to go through. This is what would be on your website. So you can take this form and actually put it on your website and go through and be able to, from your website, then this form would pop up and then they would be able to go through and fill this out. When they fill this out, anybody that goes to your website fills out this form, they would submit it in, and this is, fills out all this information. And now, again, it drops in here, saves here. It's all captured. Everything is all captured in here. So same thing here too, what you can actually do with any of these apps. So like your buyers, your title companies, wholesalers, JV investors, realtors, what you can actually do is this is the same process for all of these here. So for example, I'll use the VA leads. Okay. This is how you create a web form out of here. So that way you can send this link to anybody, say for like your JV leads. We'll use JV leads because I'm going to hand this one out to people. So we're going to go in here to JV leads, open this up, go to this wrench. You're going to have this drop down here. This is if you want to export your leads, you're going to go to Excel export, and that's going to take all your leads. If you want to take them all, you can. If you want to export out just a few, you can take those out right here. What we're actually going to do though is we are actually going to come in here and actually do the web form. So with this web form itself, this is my JV lead submission form. Says what I need people to do, and there's certain fields that actually must be filled out pertaining to what it is that I want and need. And so when you come in here, you got your whole screen up here, and you can see how this whole thing, see your whole form. So like if I don't want the seller name on here, I can deselect that and it'll take that off. But obviously I want that on there, and it's on there. Okay, so you can come over here to this right hand side, deselect anything that you don't want somebody to be able to fill out, to be able to see on there, such as my JV fee, my JV type, what type of JV partner are you, what are you doing, taking pictures, doing lead submission, brought that in a buyer, whatever. That's going to go in here. Notes that we got that we have for you, and then my contracts and all that stuff. Date the lead was submitted. That doesn't need to be in there because I have an automation where once this lead comes in, it actually timestamps it. So that date is already in there, so I know when this lead was submitted. At the same time, when this web form is submitted, I also get a task created. So that way it creates a task for for us. So that way we know that there was a lead submitted and somebody's got to go get in there and follow up with it. So once you have gone through major changes, change up your title, title here, change up the theme, whatever it is that you want to do. Let's change this to flatty. You can see how that there changes. Let's do glossy. You can see how this whole thing changes here. Slate, just however it is that you want. Button text for your submission right there. Make it say done, whatever. You can just change all that right there. After submission. So in the after submission section here, there's two things that you can do. One, you can have this just once they click submit, uh, thank you message, or you can do click this here and insert your website, your any other site that you want people to get redirected to. So this is a JV lead form. So maybe I do want them to go to my website afterwards. That way they can see what's going on there. I can have it go to whatever website I want, as well as I can also take this same link and copy and paste that right in here. And so like if someone's got multiple submissions, they can click submit, and what it'll do is it'll reload this page with blank, so ready to go for a new installment. So if you got somebody that's submitting 5 leads, you can do this and have it do that. Anyways, is that when you're done with this whole when you're done with all your changes, always have to come down here. um, you want to oh yeah, that's right, because I have that right there, so I don't want that. Should go ahead and change that, so I don't want that. And then click and save and share, and just done. Okay, now all your changes have been saved. So if you go back in here and make another change, then you've got to save it again. But all you're doing then is taking this link right here, and this is that link that you're going to hand out to people, give out, put on your website, whatever, JV form, JV lead submission. Personally, me, I take it to Bitly and I put it in a shortened version and create that shortened version so it still does that, but copy and paste that. And this is what that submission form looks like. Okay. So again, this here gets filled out in here. All these stars must be filled out. And then once that's done, it does actually it gets deposited into that app. So however it is, if you're doing it from the web form, just like I just did there, that there would actually be deposited in here automatically, no problem. Same thing with your VA. The way I do this is I have my VA. They take, I have a web form link that they actually do. This is the easiest way for integrations into any other dialing system, is to actually just utilize this. You just utilize this link and put it into your call script. Have your call script automatically pop up. That way this link is sitting at the top side of it, and your VA can just click the link right from there, and it'll open up a new window. And just like this, it'll actually go in there, pop up a new window. This is my VA lead form, so this is what they go through, and they bring this up at the start of their shift, and this form just stays up. So once they go through and they fill it out, once they go through and fill this out, then afterwards, it just cycles back around to reproduce. So made that change in there, save and share, done. So how this way works, just like I just showed you here, I'll go through and I'll submit this in. James, do Jacob Steak Farm. We'll move this down. Click submit, and it repopulates a new form. So that way they're ready to go. Steve, and again, go right back in there and back into Podio. Those leads are populating right in there. Now you can continue with your follow-up. Now, nobody else needs to be in your Podio except your leads manager, you, whoever it is that you got doing this, but your VA does not need to be in here. There's no purpose for them to be in there. And so that there's the simplest and easiest way to get around having to utilize any sort of Zapier integration for your services, for your phone dialer, anything of that sorts. As is, I use Call Tools. There's a button in there that creates the connector button, opens up that web page. boom, now they're all set and ready to start putting their leads. And again, you just see how easy it is that these leads just come popping in here. Um, and that there is a complete start to finish run through on this. Again, with your, as you have that lead and you're pushing it down, you find your buyer, you got your buyer going on, and now you attach your buyer to that lead. You know what's going on with that deal. So the whole point of this is to have as minimal uh, connecting components that's going to cause issues as possible, such as what is with this. This is the Podio setup. To have these automations and integrations, the automations that I do have in here are requiring the top plan for Podio, which is $24 per user. So that there gives you the automations in here to be able to push all this stuff from app to app, create all these PDFs and everything without, at the click of a button. As is, there's at least over about 2 hours saved from start to finish from a lead going in here with all these automations. Um, so with that, it keeps it as simplistic as possible. Podio is $24. I use Just Call, which is $24. That's my follow-up system in here. That's where I'm calling. That's where I'm texting them back out of. You can have multiple numbers with that too. You can have multiple employees as well. And then as well as I'm also using Call Tools. Call Tools is just my VA is calling on Call Tools and just dumping those leads into here. And that's how I have it set up. This is how mine works. This is how I love it. Simplistic. I'm not overpaying for a CRM that I'm not having to pay so much and only be utilizing a portion of it. I'm actually utilizing this whole thing, start to finish. I'm utilizing every field in here. That's how I built this. That's how I designed this. This is how this works. Trying to keep things as simplistic as possible. The beauty part too is that when you do have your leads in here, if you want somebody to if you want to share your lead with somebody, if you need some help with the lead there, you can actually go through here and pull up that lead. And this goes the same thing with any app. And you can actually go through and you can share this out. You can share out this app only or invite somebody to this workspace. You can share out just that lead only. And do you want them to have read-only access, or do you want them to be able to make changes in there, make some notes? You can have it be read-only access. Now they can't do anything; they can only see the lead, which is absolutely fine. And then all you're going to do here is just go through and put in your the email address and invite that person to the workspace. And then now, boom, they have full access on this. So I will go ahead and share to myself. And I'm going to go ahead and click share. And so now that's actually going to, oh, and now I'm actually going to go ahead and share it. They do not have to be a member. You can share it externally. And when you do, they actually will have access to this. So then they will be able to get into this lead in the same way. Um, Click the buttons, make changes, and then also add in their notes. So that is, they'll be able to have access just like this without having to do sign up with another account. They're actually just signing in. And so that is delayed here for a moment. But that is how this is working. Only this lead. Let's see if we can't get this thing in here. Well, it should pop up here. Anyways, they actually have access in this same setup here. This is how it comes across. And then now I can go in there and access the Podio. I can access that lead right there. That's all I have access to. So I can see the whole thing that's been going on there. Um, and I can make whatever changes and you know what we're going to be doing on that. Now I'm corresponding with somebody else in their Podio app. So with that, that is the conclusion to this. I hope you enjoyed. Um, you know, do what you got to do on this. There's links below and everything for just call Podio and all this other good stuff. Um, feel free to reach out if you have any questions. You guys got the number 602-899-4POD, POD, which is 4763. Later.